Alright, hello again, and welcome back to the channel. This week I am back on the train, heading back into Chicago with my good buddy Gary Bonnet, and we're heading back into Chicago, this time Easter weekend, going into the Pilsen district, as they have a huge event that coincides with Easter. It's basically a reenactment of the crucifixion. It is called the Way of the Living Cross. Well, hold on. Let me see if I have that right. It's called the Living Way of the Cross. It is basically, like I just said, it's a reenactment of the crucifixion. Take over the whole streets in the Pilsen neighborhood, and it's like everybody is like not like a parade, but kind of like a parade. Everybody ends up in the streets. And the whole reenactment, it takes, Jesus down the street and into the park, and or they put him up in the cross, the whole thing. And before we get too far into this, I'm not a super religious person. I haven't been to church in like forever. Sorry. Born and raised Catholic. I was an altar boy at one time, and honestly, that was mainly because the altar boys had a trip every year to the Cubs game, and I was a huge Cubs fan, so yeah, I was an altar boy growing up for at least one Cubs season. So, but I digress. So yeah, Gary and I went into the city, had a great time, met a lot of cool people. They talked to us about the gentrification that is going on in the city, and quite honestly, it was almost like being at a Grateful Dead concert too. I think I probably had a little bit of a contact high walking away from there, but again, that's the story for another day. But it was a fun time. It was interesting. The characters and people around, got some awesome images both during the event as well as just walking around downtown, as we always do. So thank you, everybody. Enough babbling. Let's get right to the video. Let's go. Hey everybody, quick sidebar. Just wanted to let you all know this is the first time that I've ever tried POV shooting, taking video during shooting some street photography. What I did is I just hooked up my GoPro Hero 11 to the hot shoe on the D850 and just hit record when I thought I was ready to shoot some still images. But again, this is new for this channel. It's new for me. Trying to grow the channel. 3,500 right now subscribers, which amazes me. I've said it before. I never thought I'd get over 100, but yeah. So I'm trying to grow the channel, trying new things. POV shooting, Hero 11 onto the hot shoe of the D850. I think I had my 2470 on the D850, which is full frame camera, as you probably all know. And yeah, so I'm really interested to hear your feedback on the POV style. And yeah, let me know if there's something you want me to keep trying. Alright, back to the video. I always like to warm up by taking a few people shots on the train, and if you see this guy right across the way from us, remember that face. You might come across him later. So our original plan, we were going to set up camp right here on the train platform on 18th Street, looking down so we could get those kind of sniper images from above, but thank God we ended up going down street level because we found a lot of cool things. Starting with this window here, the faces in the window really caught my attention, and I caught my attention before that woman was sitting out there. So snapped a couple of shots before she was there, and then when she went and sat down, I snapped a couple of more. So I'll show those to you now. As you can see here, she's not overly comfortable with me taking her picture, but I did walk across the street and attempt to talk to her. There was a little bit of a language barrier, but I think she was okay. I think she understood. I know the people around us at the time, they understood, so I think everything was okay. This is a very strong image, certainly one of my favorites of the day. Now this is our buddy, and he really welcomed us. I'm not gonna mention names, well, not real names anyway. You'll meet a guy named Chicklets in a little bit, but he made us feel very welcome, and he actually introduced us to a lot of people around, and you can see Gary took a seat right next to him, and it felt right at home, so we were good. Speaking of making ourselves right at home, I shot this image, a very cool street image. Gary blends right in with the surroundings, and yeah, I like this one. And a fun little pose shot here with our new friend. Now this is a street level view of where we were going to shoot from, up there on that platform, but like I said earlier, it's such a good thing that we decided to shoot down here on the street level. Now some guy parked his Mercedes, probably a 50,000 or more car, in this tow-away zone because he was allegedly, or at least that's what he said, he was looking for the unemployment office, and these guys were, I don't know if they were giving him the right directions or not, but it was fun to listen to.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, not $75.
Well, give us $50, we'll babysit the car. We'll stay in that bitch on top of that motherfucker. Excuse me.
You're already telling them.
Now it's a good thing that he actually moved his car because these guys were coming around putting tickets on and towing cars. So he got out of there in the nick of time.
That's God's word. This is a clear path for Jesus.
Hey, make sure clear path.
Just in case you didn't catch that, the police officer said he was doing God's work. He was clearing a path for Jesus as that car was about to get towed. So that was pretty funny. Now you see these guys over here to the right, there's 3 of them, and they approached Gary and actually asked Gary to take their picture. I snapped a shot of Gary taking the picture, and I also put up Gary's picture. And I shot this image of 2 of those 3 guys, and they actually asked me to take a picture, and I really like the contrasty grittiness, you know, it's just a street image, and really it's kind of an environmental portrait. Right, so now the reenactment was starting, and like suddenly the streets were just flooded with people, and you can see Jesus carrying the cross up 18th Street or whichever street this was, and it was just really kind of a wild, you know, certainly unique scene, and made for some interesting street photography. So I'll show you some images here now. Alright, if you watch closely, you'll see how the seas kind of part as this woman walks by me, and I got a couple images of her that I really like. The next few images are pretty much my favorites of the bunch, as I was just shooting street and walking along with the event. Now this gentleman right here, this is Chicklets. He was kind enough to pose for me as he was walking down the street, and I snapped a quick shot of him.
They call him bubblegum.
Bubblegum?
Yeah, but chicle sounds better. Bubblegum sounds fruity.
Yeah.
In English,
I
bubblegum.
like chicken.
I think that person just snuck in on me. Like I tapped my card and I came through, and then someone came up right behind me and like sprinted up the steps. Yep, unbeknownst to me, somebody jumped the turnstile on my dime. The event was over and we were starting to come down from our contact high, and we wanted to head back towards the train station and shoot a little bit over there. And if you were paying attention earlier in the video, you know I like to shoot on the train. Now this lady here, she was kind enough to try to entertain the whole train car with her music. That was incredibly loud. And this is Gary exercising great patience. Now we made our way back towards Union Station, and I was able to grab a few more shots. Some of them are portfolio, definite keepers, and this guy was the main subject. Pretty cool. Alright, it was time to head out, time to head back to the train, and remember that guy that we sat next to on the train in the morning heading into the city? Yep, small world as it is, here he is right next to us on the train back home at the end of the day. Pretty wild. Alright everybody, hey, that's going to do it for another video. Thank you all very much for stopping by. I want to give a big shout out to the channel members. That is number 1, Joel Charbonnet, and number 2, Nature Photo Studios. Thank you very much for being members. I truly appreciate you. And everybody else, if you can support the channel by giving it a like or subscribing if you've not done so already, and or sharing and commenting, that helps the channel quite a bit. And you all know the drill. Hey, like it if you did, and subscribe if you haven't. Ring that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And I am Garrick, and I am your very best friend in the whole wide world. So we'll see you next time, everybody. Thank you again. Bye-bye.